JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, man shot dead in Old Brayton. One man was killed after gunmen opened fire in a group in front of a hardware store in Old Brayton on Sunday afternoon. The dead man has been identified as Dwight Cespedes of Old Brayton, who is the brother of the owner of Cess Hardware Store. Reports are that the men were standing in front of Cess Hardware on Brayton Boulevard when assailants approached them. It is reported that the group dispersed, but Cespedes remained behind and was shot several times by the gunmen. He was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The St. Catherine South Police were investigating the shooting have not established a motive for the killing. Residents in the area, however, said that they strongly believe that the shooting is linked to the recent killing of two men at a service station at the foot of Red Hills in St. Andrew last week. According to the residents, one of the men who was shot in the car was from Old Brayton. The theory of a link between the crimes could not be independently verified. Portland man charged over a knife attack during dispute. 35-year-old Portland resident Dwayne Sinclair has been charged for stabbing a man multiple times during a dispute in Dillon District. Sinclair was charged on Saturday with wounding with intent. A court date has not yet been finalized. The police report that about 7 a.m. on Thursday, November 25, Sinclair was having a dispute with another man and used a knife to inflict several wounds to his cheek, neck, chest, and head. Sinclair was later apprehended by the police and subsequently charged on Saturday, November 27. Glock pistol seized, 3 men arrested in Portmore. Swift action by the police led to the seizure of an illegal gun and the arrest of 3 men who committed a robbery in Portmore, St. Catherine on Monday. Police reports are that a few minutes after 8 p.m. on Monday, November 29th, officers on patrol pursued a suspicious vehicle with 3 people aboard. A search of the vehicle was done in the presence of the occupants, and an illegal gun, a Glock pistol, loaded with 19 rounds, was seized. Further investigation revealed that the men had just committed a robbery along Municipal Boulevard where 2 people were robbed at gunpoint. The men, one of whom was a juvenile, were all taken into custody. The St. Catherine South Criminal Investigations Branch is investigating. The St. Catherine South Police are imploring citizens to be aware of their surroundings, especially at nights. Do not walk in dark or lonely areas alone and report any suspicious activity observed to the police. The police will be increasing the patrols and operational activities across the division as we approach this Yuletide season, said Superintendent Upton Nicholson, the acting divisional commander for the St. Catherine South Division. Reputed gangster convicted for a brazen Westmoreland attack. A reputed gangster who opened gunfire to a Westmoreland resident before torching the home of the fleeing victim has been convicted of several criminal charges related to the brazen daylight attack. Isaiah Perry, more popularly known as Scat or Matthew, was found guilty of illegal possession of firearm, arson, shooting with intent, and assault in the Hanover Circuit Court on Monday. He is scheduled to be sentenced on December 14. The trial commenced in the Westmoreland Circuit Court on November 1 and was transferred to the Hanover Circuit Court for the verdict. A high-ranking police official has described Perry as a very influential member of the Kings Valley Gang, which is based in Westmoreland. Prosecutors led evidence in the trial that on the morning of April 14, 2019, there was an altercation between Perry and his victim in the Kings Valley community. The altercation stemmed from a domestic dispute between the victim and a relative of Perry. The alleged gangster, armed with a mini AK-47 rifle and a machete, went to the victim's home. He opened gunfire at the fleeing victim, set fire to the house, and assaulted another individual before leaving. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, commended the witnesses for giving statements to the police and participating in the trial by giving cogent and credible evidence. The ODPP also praised detectives in the Westmoreland Police Division for their hard work and diligence in probing the case, which was not without its challenges. Frontline worker gets carwish from NCB Foundation. Goosebumps covered all who watched as Deloney Merchant opened her eyes to see her wish granted, a car. Merchant, a patient care attendant at the National Chest Hospital, was surprised during her shift last Friday morning by National Commercial Bank Jamaica Limited with a 2021 Kia Niro. Her joy was contagious as she fell to her knees upon being told the white hybrid crossover was hers. Merchant, 40, was the first to have her wish granted in the NCB Foundation's Grant-A-Wish program after the team at NCB saw her story in Television Jamaica's All Angles in September. Then, she detailed her feelings of devastation at caring for patients affected by COVID-19. only to hear that they had passed when she returned to work. Her tears ran freely as she recounted to host Dion Jackson Miller for work the effects the regular losses have on her mental wellness and a patient's pronouncement of blessing. Merchant said the patient, battling COVID-19 and lupus, was feeling low but still prayed with her. I was there encouraging her, and first thing she said to me was, "The Lord bless you." And I said to her, "I wish you'd bless me with a car," Merchant said in the interview aired on TVJ. I said to her, "Thank you for the blessing, and that I wish you could get me a car, because I am tired of walking," she said. "Don't worry, just be humble." And when I came back to work, she was leaving in a body bag. "It pains my heart," said Merchant. It was that moving interview that spurred the NCBJ team to make hers the first wish granted for 2021. Anyone who watched that interview was moved. The decision to gift her this week was easy for us at NCB. She's a frontline worker and it is obvious that everyone loves her, said Sherry Martin, head of retail banking and customer experience at NCBJ. Merchants, his co-workers, supervisors and the doctors on call all cheered for her good fortune. Sister Tamara Thompson-Dennis, her immediate supervisor, declared that Merchants' hard work is being rewarded. "She takes very good of the patients, and you can call upon her to assist in whatever you're doing," said Thompson-Dennis. "She's always an ambitious, goal-oriented person, trying to achieve the highest in whatever she does. Since she was on the TV program, she has been doing driving lessons, and I'm always troubling her about it, saying that she needs to get the car first," added Thompson-Dennis laughingly. "We're really happy for her." The sentiment was on the lips of everyone from the hospital who saw that her wish for a car was granted. When she could finally find the words, Merchant gave a rose in prayer of thanks. "I love my job. It pays to be nice, to be kind. It pays to be caring to people. Thank you, NCB Foundation." NCBJ, through the NCB Foundation, has earmarked $50 million to share for individuals and institutions nominated on its philanthropic program. Grant a Wish was officially launched on November 19 and will allow votes by the public until December 5 on grantawish.jncb.com. NSWMA raises red flag over disbursement of more than $30 million in checks. MOCA called into probe. Board members of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, have disclosed that the irregularities at the state entity involved the disbursement of over $30 million in checks from one of its regional subsidiaries. An audit exercise which spanned 3 months, ending in March 2020, uncovered very glaring concerns, which NSWMA's board and management thought rose to the level of the need for a criminal investigation at its subsidiary, Metropolitan Parks and Market MPM Waste Management Limited. MPM is the region covering Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, and St. Thomas. The audit committee was dissatisfied as to the way the checks were disbursed, or the checks were encashed, and those sort of things, said Norman Brown, chairman of the subcommittee of the NSWMA. He told a press conference on Monday that, preliminarily, we're looking at somewhere about $30 million. The process for the disbursement of these funds is what is in question, as to whether the agency got value for money. That's a major concern that we have, and that's what is being investigated, he explained. The major organized and anti-corruption agency MOCA has already been called in to probe the irregularities, according to NSWMA's board chairman, Dennis Strong. Additionally, Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis is also carrying out a separate audit at the entity. Being proactive, we have referred this to MOCA, who have already started their investigations, and this we hope to deal with before it becomes a major situation, he stated. We also have the Auditor General in the agency, and we look forward to that report also, because we know that it will help us to improve the operations, said Chong. We're going to ensure as an organization that wherever corruption raises its head, we're going to be on it, and we have a very active audit subcommittee led by our chairman Norman Brown, he further stated. Meanwhile, NSWMA's executive director Audrey Gordon shied away from disclosing whether the glaring concerns discovered by the audit led to employees being separated from the government-run solid waste company. "I'm very careful not to link separation to the ongoing investigation," he said cautiously, noting that any disclosure of such could lead to the probe being compromised. Jamaica reported 27 new cases of COVID-19 and 1 virus-related death on Monday, pushing the total number of confirmed cases on the island since the outbreak to 91,249 and the confirmed deaths to 2,392. The new cases comprise 16 females and 11 males, with ages ranging from 6 years to 94 years. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, 8 of the cases were recorded in St. James, 7 in St. Mary, 5 in St. Anne, 3 in Westmoreland, 2 in Trelawney, and 1 each in Manchester and St. Catherine. No new cases were reported for Kingston and St. Andrew, Hanover, Clarendon, Portland, St. Elizabeth, and St. Thomas. The latest victim is an 82-year-old female from Manchester, whose death was previously under investigation. The ministry further reported 103 new recoveries, which pushed the total recoveries to 62,642. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.